Hey there, hello. Can you hear me all right? Getting started a little early just to make sure all my stuff works. So um, hang with me here, guys, for a minute while I check some stuff out and just make sure everything's happening like it's supposed to. YouTube. Is this thing working? Is this thing on? Do I hear myself talking? No, I don't. Hello? I have no audio. I'm not talking, but let me go over here. Hey, Kyle. Thanks for joining, man. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I'm having trouble finding the uh, hearing the audio on my page or on my YouTube thing. So it says it's working, but I can't tell. No, there's no audio. You can hear me fine on YouTube? All right. Okay. I'm gonna go with that then, man, because I pulled it up on my YouTube and I can't see it. So, all right, how we doing this evening? Kyle, what have you been up to, man? It's been a minute. All right, hey Stu the snack man is in the house. You ever need snacks, you need to hit this guy up. He's the master, snack master. There we go, snack master Stu. I like it. I like it. But now I'm just waiting to get my stuff together here. Maybe get couple more people join. I know I always have a big audience on these, but it's been a minute since I've been on, so figured I'd jump on. And hey, I'm streaming from New Digs tonight. Check this out. So, um, yeah, we've been in process of remodeling this house for probably a year now. Uh, yes, sir. I hear you there, Kyle. So, anyway, this is uh, where I'm shooting from tonight is my garage, also known as the Dan Cave, and I've got when we bought this house, it was a very dark brown room. Is all I can say. It was very dark, and even in broad daylight with the door open, it was dark in here. So we've kind of lightened things up a little bit, but then I've got some of my garage decor from the old house and some license plates on the wall and a couple saws and some other license plates and just kind of fun stuff. And I even got my own, if you will, the Panfish Guy sign. So that tells you right now I'm bona fide. um, but no, this is actually stuff I had on my fishing bench at the old house that came along for the ride and found a place to put it, and this is gonna be my sort of studio for live stuff when I when I do my lives because there's a lot more light in here. We put new lighting in, and it's still a. If you saw behind the camera, you'd be like, "Oh my God, look at all that stuff!" But I do have room here for for my little studio, if you will. So, but that's what it is. So excited, new venue, and we'll do this as long as it's the weather is tolerable, if you will. So it's a little steamy in here tonight, just with the weather we had today, and that was a lot of fun, wasn't it? I don't know if you heard it. Uh, they didn't have much over in South County. I talked to Donnie earlier. He said there was nothing, but yeah, we had a pretty good little burst today. So more about that later. Um, well, and if there's anybody else who has joined, please say hello. So I know that you're on. So far, I got a couple of the usual suspects, Kyle and Stuart. So if you're on, give me a shout, say hello, so I know you're here. Um, but anyway, no, just hadn't been on in a while, and I figured I'd jump on and let everybody know I'm still kicking and what we're up to. Kyle did. Are the crappie? Wait, have you been to Shelbyville? I hear they're shallow up at Shelbyville. They had a big turn. I was supposed to be in a tournament up there this last weekend. Hey, Rick Angle. There's a man that knows something about Shelbyville and or Clinton. uh, but here they're shallow up at Clinton, up at Shelbyville. Um, Clinton's probably different because it's power plant, but who knows? So, but yeah, they had a big tournament thing there yesterday, Fallen Outdoors tournament, and here was bang up good time. So weights weren't big, but that's not unexpected at Shelbyville. So, but I think everybody had a good time. So that's the important part. But anyway, so uh, my first question was going to be, or my first question to y'all was going to be, um, oh, Rick, Crappie Rick says they're shallow in Clinton as well. So cool. Thanks for the info. Um, but I was just gonna ask how if anybody's been fishing. I know Stuart's been fishing. We went yesterday or today, and I actually went out on Thursday, and I started a new work thing where I work 4 10-hour days. So I've got Thursday off during the week now. So that's my designated weekday fishing day for the time being. So um, Kyle says he went to Lake Mattoon yesterday, caught a bunch of dinks and 4 overs from the shore. So you let them swim, okay? Gotcha. And so anyway, I um, snuck out to Crab Orchard on Thursday and just did a little recon there. They are in spawn mode. Um, I was catching them. I caught them actually out in like basically it's a field in the summertime. It's a field full of lily pads. It's a big bay, and but right now it's just like the stems. Um, and I spider rigged in those lily stems for about. Hey, Mike Crook, how you doing? Good seeing you on, man. Um, been doing any fishing? We were just talking about what we've been doing fishing wise, but I so we did. I spider rigged through those lily stems, and it's kind of difficult because it's only 4 feet of water, and you're kind of bouncing off those lily pad stems trying to get hung on them. But managed to do it. The wind wasn't too bad. me and Stuart went out there again today, and I had designs on kind of doing the same thing, but just instead of um, spider rigging, we're just going to cast in those lily stems. But the wind was not going to cooperate with that. It was not going to happen. Just the way the wind was blowing. So uh, we went to leave there, and we kind of started looking around for other places, and somewhere in that mix, it started raining, even though there was nothing on the radar. Go figure. So pretty good shot of rain and some little bit of tiny bit of lightning, just enough to get me kind of worried a little bit, you know. But we finally got back to where we launched at and hit under one of the bridges for a little bit, and then it stopped raining. So we're like, well, hell, might as well start fishing then. So um, so we hit a brush pile. We caught about we'd had at that point we had one fish in the boat, and I think we caught 8 or 9 off of that one brush pile. Caught 8 or 9 off of that one brush pile, and then one off of another one farther down the way. But and then about the time we thought we were on a pattern, I looked up and it's black, and I was like, okay, it's time to go. um, Let's see. Kyle says few males said he caught had the tuxedos going on. Yep, yep. Rick said I caught 35 crappie Friday, but brought home 4 keepers. Yeah, you know it's tough when that happens. You're catching the dickens out of them, but you only catch 3 or 4 that are big enough to keep. I've been there, done that many times, and it sucks. But you know, that's I guess why they call it fishing, not catching, right? But and yes, Kyle, I have heard of jigging with Jake. Actually, we are Mr. Sharp with brush pile jigs. Um, has talked about maybe doing some sort of a uh, what do you call it? I don't know, co-op, or basically get some of the guys that that are under his that use his products together, YouTube guys together, and do some co-op videos, stuff like that. So I haven't met him, but I know of him. I watch him all the time. So yep. Uh, so yeah, never know. We might actually one of these days get something together on that. So that's something I've been looking forward to, working with other YouTubers as well. So, but so yeah, Thursday I wound up with 19 fish, 19 keepers, and then today we kept 11. Collaboration. There you go. Thanks, Kyle. Couldn't spit that word out. Yeah. Um, yeah. 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 And he does a lot of shore video, a lot of bridge stuff. I know he does some stuff up at Clinton too. So, yep. And I'm a little farther south though, so I've been to Clinton one time, and I think we caught. It was in the wintertime, and we caught. I think we caught 6 keepers between 3 guys, but I didn't know what I was doing. It's for my first time there, and turns out apparently what Rick was saying earlier, Bob jig and bobber combo. So bobber with the jig underneath of it. and apparently that's the deal up there. Is, fish the shorelines, kind of bounce it out to about 3 foot of water or so. So that's even in the wintertime, I hear, 3 to 6 foot of water. But yeah, Kyle says Nate Farrell has some good ice fishing stuff. He's in Decatur. Yeah, I'm not, not an ice guy. I did it one time years ago, and there might have been alcohol involved. But yeah, we're far enough south that the ice is not very trusty here. So if you get any, it's usually short lived, So when I was a kid, we used to go skate on the ponds and stuff all the time. But I don't know if I'd go and punch holes in it these days and try to fish. So maybe not. Maybe just not my bag. I like the soft water, not the hard water. But yeah. So anyway, we did a little fishing today, and then man, like I say, I looked up and it was black. And I said, "Hey, Stu, I think that sky says it's time to go." And I wasn't wrong. uh, we hightailed it over to the boat ramp. We weren't very far from it, but by the time I'm putting the boat on the trailer, lightning's just all over the place, and it was craziness. So managed to head home. Actually, start driving home before the storm really hit. But man, it hit. Stu, did you get any ice in your drive home? I got hit by some hail. It was going pretty good there for a minute, but man, the wind was blowing. It was like blackout. You couldn't see 5 feet. It was crazy. But yeah, I hear you on the perch and eyes, Kyle. Yeah, I've still got to do my research on this lake down here. I was telling you about. It's supposed to have yellow perch in it, and I've been out there a couple times this year, but it's been strictly crappie, and I caught a couple trout, but I haven't researched that thing we were talking about on my list of many things to do. But excuse me for 1 minute. Got a frog in my throat. All right, so I'm better now for the moment. Uh, so anyway, yeah. Going to Wisconsin, Nate Farrell. Okay, I think I'm caught up on comments. Anybody has joined that hasn't said hello, please do so. Hey, there he is. I was just thinking about you, man. Victor Slimmer in the house, the fish fry guy. Hi, hey man, did you get me a selfie yet of that? I need a selfie of that cup and your brush pile shirt. So I wore mine tonight. So, but yeah, give me a picture, man. Um, need to get that out there. But yeah, anyway, so we went to duh, 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 duh. I'm just trying to catch up on my notes here, figure out where I got lost at. Oh, yeah, yeah, I've done that. So, um, or I've seen some videos to that effect, Kyle, with the minnows kind of bouncing, basically like a bottom bouncer type setup, just or a drop shot type thing, sitting them on the bottom. But I know this particular lake's going to get a thermocline at some point, so it may have to be shallower water than what I'm thinking, but I don't know. It's going to be trial and error, so I have to go play with it. But so anyway, we got the crab thing, but yeah, it poured this afternoon, and man, it was a gully washer. But I think based on what I was seeing on when I was cleaning fish today, I think they're headed toward the end of the spawn. So, but like I say, what we caught today wasn't shallow. It was in like 8, 9 feet of water in brush piles. But let me just check my notes here. So yeah. So anyway, I'll give you some content updates. Content updates. So I've got a lot of stuff filmed. Um, I'm going to be working on to get some videos posted on a consistent basis, which that's always been a struggle for me because it's always hey, I'm gonna go fishing again this weekend, so I don't have time to work on sit behind a laptop and work on stuff because I'm fishing, So, um, and yeah, I've had a couple of things that I've filmed that didn't really turn out great. Um, we went to Pickwick Lake, and I thought I was going to be a big shot and use my new camera that I got. It's a DSLR camera instead of the GoPro for my forward-facing camera. Uh, but the problem with it is that I kind of cut my head off, and then it's got a power source uh, that is that it plugs into USB, and it plugs into my Yellowtech pole that I use for my cameras, and that worked fine except for the plug on the thing is kind of loose. So when you plug it into a USB port, it you know, or you get any kind of vibration or anything, it wants to fall out. So basically, my camera that I had facing to the forward part of the boat where all the fish were caught was kind of in and out all day. And then I had it, it would get moved, and then the plug would fall out, and it wouldn't be on for a while, and I'd realize it's not on. I plug it back in, and so I have a solution for that called duct tape. But at that particular time, I didn't have that going on, So so there were some missed opportunities there in terms of that. I'll still try to make it into some kind of a video, but I think we caught like 4 fish total, and we didn't really show them off. So I it's not going to be great, but I think I can make it into something. Yeah, or maybe get some highlights out of it and do some short reels or something. I don't know, but and then uh, we went down to Kentucky Lake last a week or so ago, and kind of a similar situation. There were fish caught. I captured it on camera, but it was raining, so I didn't have microphones set up, so the audio's bad, and that's par for the course for YouTube. Or I'm sorry for GoPro cameras. The mics are terrible on them, and then unless they've improved since the versions that I bought, but so there's enough there to make a video out of, but it's going to be highly narrated because there's really not going to be much audio on it at all. And but that's something I've been wanting to do, and we did a little what do you call it? Pushing minnows. So it's kind of a spider rigging thing. We're using long poles, but we're actually using live scope and kind of doing like a drop shot setup on the stake beds, and just kind of pushing those up in there. So a single pole, but so and it's kind of a neat approach. And man, the guy we went with, he's got one hell of a boat, and it was a good setup. It just the fish were not cooperating that particular day. they were there, but then as soon as you dropped a bait on it, they were gone. They booked. So it was a kind of a tough day, but it was nice, and you know, had a lot of fun down there. But and I do intend to go back there. So we have actually am planning on uh, going down there, weather permitting, next Saturday, just for like a day trip. So, um, oh, cool. Down in Murray, yeah, that's not real far from where we're at. We were actually down at like what do you call it, Buchanan or Paris Landing, Dover area. So, a little on the Tennessee side of that, Kyle. But yeah, it's not far from there. And but yeah, I'm wanting to get back down to Kentucky Lake for gills, and I've been seeing posts on Facebook the last couple days that the gills are really going and shell crackers. So I want to get in on that action. I've always wanted to, and it's kind of like a bucket list thing, right? So it's going to happen this year. Even if I got to go by myself, even if I got to hop there on one foot, you know, I'm going to do it. So, but it's like I say, if the weather's cooperative next Saturday, I'm just going to do a day trip. Yeah. Yep. 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 It's real close to there. So, but yeah. So that's on my list for next Saturday, and then the following weekend we're headed down to Reelfoot. Me and Stu are going to be headed down there at headed on Friday. I think it's the I can't remember the date, 19th maybe 12th. Yeah, 19th. I was just saying it, Kyle. Yeah, headed to Reelfoot on Friday the 19th, and gonna stay until Tuesday. So like four days of fishing. Um, you know, weather permitting, of course. You know, so it's always a crapshoot at Reelfoot whether or not you get crap weather or you know you just never know. It's hard to say. I can usually count on at least one day of bad weather when I go down there, and it's May after all. You know, so that's that's how it rolls. You know, so yeah, that's a good thing. There's Grizzly Jig not too far away. You can go hang out and. So Rick, you talking Reelfoot? I've been going to Reelfoot every year since about 2005, 2006. I think I started going before my daughter was born. She was born in '04, so I guess maybe '04, '03. I'll go with '03. Yeah. Yeah. So I've hit Reelfoot every year since 2003, and yeah, I like it. It's yeah. That's that. Don't get me started on that, Kyle. Kyle says, "Well, hopefully your truck works." But yeah, I'll tell a story on that. But yeah, we I actually started going there. My dear friend I fished with for a lot of years, and we'd always talk about going down there because I think he said he'd been down there once when he was a kid, and and he always wanted to go back. And we talked about it and talked about it, and talked it to death, you know. And uh, he he wasn't in the greatest of health, and yeah, so I was like, Brad, are we going to do this or not? Because you're not. you're not getting any younger. And he's like, yeah, I know. Let's do it. And then his health just degraded to the point where uh, he needed to be on oxygen full time, and he resisted that notion. So, but yeah, we never got to go. But the year he passed, I I said, you know what, I'm gonna make that trip. I'll take his memory with me. But it was just had to do it. So we talked about it forever. So I was like, I'm gonna get it done. So got to go down there. First day had a lot of fun. So met another guy from Illinois. He gave me some pointers and caught like 18 fish that day. I was hooked. I was fishing the trees is in April, and yeah, yeah, Miss Judy Cap. She is a character, Rick. I stayed there. I stayed there one time, and I've actually been in her store a couple of other times. She wasn't in last time I was there. She wasn't in the greatest of health. She had actually had a health scare, but I hear she's doing better now. But she yeah, I saw you posted pictures, so I'll check them out here in a little bit. But I know I could probably display them on here, but I'd have to do something that I'm not comfortable with doing as far as like showing my desktop on my computer, which every time I turn that on, it scares me. So I'm like, nah, not gonna go there. But yeah, Miss Judy though, she's a hoot. She's a fun old gal, and we had a good time down there. But yeah, I stayed at one of the cabins. Her setup there is cool. I liked it. If I had my preference, I'd like to have a place that's actually on the water. And I think I tried to book with her the next year, but she was saving her, and this is typical of Reelfoot if you've ever been there. Um, a lot of the resorts kind of hold their inventory, especially in the spring, for their package deals, right? So they'll basically, if you're bringing your own boat down there, you're not buying their package. They 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 would rather you go somewhere else because they want that business for the packages, right? So and nothing wrong with that. You got to have your business model right. So I think I called her the next year to book, and she had the same thing going on. Uh, they were holding their inventory for the package deals. So ended up elsewhere. So no big deal. But last 8 years or so, I've been taking my camper down there. So and then Kyle, your comment about the truck. So news on that front. So that truck that's been my been a thorn in my side pretty much since last summer is gone as of Saturday. As of yesterday, I sold it yesterday. So had to pay a few extra payments to get it out of my hair, but I sold it, and it's somebody else's problem now. So hooray! That being said, I went out. Because I'd been having so many issues with it, I finally just said, I think I'm done with this truck. So I said, I think I'm done with this truck. So I kind of took a hit, and I found a truck at a decent price that didn't appear to be, didn't have a million miles on it, and was more my speed. It's a Dodge, So um, I went ahead and took a hit and just took the money out of my 401k and bought it. So I'm still paying payments on it, but I'm paying the money back to myself, if you will. So I'm kind of the loan shark in the whole situation. But works out worked out okay. Just I I had that truck, the other truck, about a month longer, actually 2 months longer than I wanted to. But like I say, somebody else's issue now. So glad it's gone. Hasta la vista, baby. Um, and Rick says when we were there, some guy caught a lot of bluegills, and boy, let me tell you, buddy, there's a ton of bluegills in that lake. But contrary to popular opinion, they're not so easy to catch. Once you find them, but it's a matter of finding them and finding them in numbers. I know late April, early May, before they start spawning, they're in the trees, and you can catch them pretty reliably around because they have a mayfly hatch that happens there, and starts about mid-April, or when the water warms up enough, and mayflies hatch, and then like the larvae sometimes fall in the water, and those bluegill and crappie kind of hang around the base of those cypress trees, and they're pretty easy to pick off there, it's kind of tough fishing. You got to have a long pole and kind of pitch up under them, because if you're trying to cast under them, you're going to have a long, ugly day. But done that too. But yeah, when you get into them, I think most we caught in one particular day was 80, and then had a couple of days like 50 or 60. But there's some days we get down there, we catch 10 or 12. So just a matter of whether you find them or not. So, and there's all kinds of different, like a lot of places they associate with shoreline, but Reelfoot doesn't have very distinguishable shoreline, if you will. So you find them out in the lily pads. You find them on grass lines. You find them on tree lines, or they bed up in between the trees. So it's a crapshoot. They're all over the places, but they're not terribly easy to find. But and but yeah, they're a lot of fun. They're best eaten as far as I'm concerned too. But anyway, so what else have I got going on that I'm gonna have content. So we had that Pickwick thing. We had Kentucky Lake. We got Kentucky Lake. Gonna be doing some local stuff. Crab Orchard, Devil's Kitchen. Cedar Lake. Gonna try to get to Kincaid Lake. Um, try some other small stuff around here too. There's one up in DuQuoin I need to get to. I've got uh, I've got permission to fish at a private pond up in DuQuoin, and he doesn't mind if I film content out there too. So I'm gonna be doing some of that, and then Reelfoot, of course. Summertime, I'm gonna be back at doing some crankbait stuff and some spinner rigs. Got me some when I was in Columbus, Ohio for the fishing show. I picked me up some mini planer boards. So I'm going to be playing around with some planer boards. Never know, might even try to fish for some walleye with them, but it's probably going to be more crappie. But hey, it'll be a learning experience. So, and then of course bluegill. Now there's several things local I'm going to be doing, and Reelfoot, and or Kentucky Lake. of course, my standard go-to spider rigging, and we're supposed to be doing some stuff down at Bull Shoals over the summer too. My buddy's got a place down there that he's saying July or August, so it's gonna be hot, but oh nice. Don't Guy that caught them donated them to a restaurant. Cool, cool. Hey, I'd be all over that if they wanted to bring them to my restaurant. You bring it. But anyway, da, 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 da. But yeah, Bull Shoals it's a walleye thing, but it's supposed to be July August time frame, so it's going to be hot, and I'm not sure what the approach is. My buddy wants to start a guide business down there, and he said he's got this super super weird different method that he uses that he doesn't think anybody else does, that he wants me to basically do a video, kind of get him a promo thing set up. So I told him I'm down for it. So if it involves fishing, I'm down. So and kind of what I got going on there. And then what else do I have? So in in short, we got a lot of stuff coming up. As of this morning, or the last time I really paid attention, we were sitting at the YouTube channel is sitting at 836 subscribers, and of course, the goal, if we have one, is to um, reach 1,000 subscribers, get monetization going on. That ideally, that happens by the time I retire. So in about 8 years, right? And I think maybe, just maybe, if I work hard enough, I can get to that 1,000 subscribers. The problem I have is, there's two metrics. Excuse me. There's two metrics that you got to meet on to be monetized on YouTube. And those are, of course, that's provided they don't change them in the next 8 years, right? But those two metrics are you have to have 1,000 subscribers, legit subscribers. I know there was a time back in the day where you could buy subscribers, but that's not the case anymore. So 1,000 subscribers, and then you also have to have within the last within the last 365 days, you have to have at least 4,000 watch hours. So the 1,000 subscribers is doable here in the next year or so, I think. If I gotta keep pushing, keep getting out there and meeting people and stuff like that. But I think the part that's going to be a reach is the watch hours, just because again, I have trouble getting content out consistently, just because of the fact that I work full time, and I don't have a video editor that I hire to do, which I I've I feel like you lose control of what you're doing if you're doing it that way, So I don't have a director. I don't have a cameraman. I'm like the director, the cameraman, the fisherman, the personality, the video editor, the production team, the all in one. So all of that takes time. It takes time to put video together. So so really, what I'm looking at is, um, in terms of in terms of monetizing the channel, I need your help, and I would kindly request your help. So basically, what I'm asking, the ask would be, whenever you get a chance, you got a buddy that's talking about fishing. Hey, you should check this guy out. Uh, share, tell people about it. Share my videos. And the other thing too is like when I put out a video, comment on it, like it. That just all of any interaction that I have with subscribers, people that watch my videos is basically the more interactions you have, the more impressions you get, and it's all a bunch of metrics, gobbledygook. But the more interaction you have, the more it manipulates the algorithm, if you will. So um, by like I say, I think the big challenge is just going to be that the watch hour thing. So if we can, if I can, and over the summer or over the winter, I kind of had that up there for a while in the range it needed to be. Um, but it's kind of fallen off lately with my lackluster video output, if you will. So, but like I said, I got a lot of stuff coming up. Just a matter of getting it out there and trying to be disciplined about working on stuff and not goofing off in the evening. So um, that's kind of where I'm at. So guys, if you could, talking with my hands, if you could, please, anytime I post a video, like it, share it, tell your friends about it, post it, post it, post it on a crappie group that maybe I'm not on, that I'm not putting it on. So anything that you can do to help me out, I appreciate it. And in the meantime, too, um, we are. Oh, and binge watching. Binge watching is a good thing, and I know Victor does that. So y'all should be like Victor and binge watch those videos. But um, uh, where was I going? Oh, that's where I was going. So, and in the meantime, we're gonna I'm gonna be putting together a giveaway of some sort for um, for to when I reach 1,000 subscribers. So, um, and again, I'm trying to push on this to get to 1,000, and then obviously the more I have, the more content I put out, the more the hours are going to go up. Um, but what I want to do is celebrate reaching 1,000, even if it doesn't mean monetization just then. Like I say, I got 8 years. So long as this thing is making, I don't know, $100 a week by the time I retire, just enough to supplement my fishing habit. I'll be good with that. I'll be happy with that. Not trying to make $1,000,000, just trying to get my finances in order for retirement, right? So that's the goal. Only 8 years. I keep telling myself that. But so, but yeah, be I'm gonna be reaching out to some friends, some people I know, and see if they can't help me out with a giveaway thing. And last time we did one, I think we had a guided trip and a bunch of baits and all kinds of stuff going on. So I gotta I gotta revisit exactly how I did that, because I don't remember exactly how I did that. I think I did a drawing, but I'm not sure how I went about it. So I just got to go back and remember how I did all that. So, or maybe take an example from somebody else who's done it. I'm not sure how it's going to work, but yeah. So there's a giveaway in the future. just a matter of how. I don't know what it looks like yet in terms of how it's going to work or what the prizes are going to be, but we'll be sorting that out over the next month or so, and trying to get my head around it and start pushing for them subscribers. So faster we get there, the faster somebody wins some cool prizes. So, um, but I think that's all I've got for the moment for me blabbing anyway. So um, my earpiece is trying to pull out. Hold on. Can you hear me? Okay, I got it. So now that I'm done yakking, um, what you guys got for me? You got questions? Q&A, little Q&A stuff. Victor says he'll help. Awesome, dude. Appreciate it. And I'll check out those pictures when I get done here. But Kyle, I am going to research that. If you're still here, buddy, I am going to research the lake down here, and if I figure something out, I'll be in touch, and we'll try to hook something up. Try to get you down here and catch some of those. So I know how to catch the trout. You just throw a pink jig, but the others haven't even seen them yet. So just got to figure out how it works. But um, apparently, a lot of the places around here that sell minnows, or some of the places around here that sell minnows, don't think you really go fishing. But people go fishing before 9 o'clock in the morning, or on the weekends, for that matter. So yeah, it's kind of a sad state of affairs. I almost when we really started talking seriously about moving here to Carbondale, um, when my daughter elected to go to school here, we were like, I happened to be coming through town one. Actually, I was down here fishing a few years back, and the bait shop that I always went to get minnows was gone. A little place called Cooksy's Bait Shop. It's uh, over off of 148, right by Crab Orchard Refuge, by by right by the lake there too. And the uh, the place is gone. And I know the fellow was older, and there was COVID and stuff going on, and I don't know. I guess he didn't make it. So his but what I did notice when I was, or actually, the sign was down. There was like no sign of life there anywhere. So um, I'd been kind of looking at real estate stuff down here when we were talking about moving, and uh, and I noticed that there's a house for sale over there, and I'm like, hmm, I'm gonna look at that. I looked at it on Zillow. It was Cooksy's Bait Shop for sale. I'm like, holy cow! What if, what if I went and bought myself Cooksy's Bait Shop, and basically we lived there, send a kid to school in Carbondale, and I opened the bait shop. It was really, 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 really tempting. And so I called up the real estate agent. I was like, I want to come look at that house. And of course we had we had standards had to meet as far as the house was concerned. We didn't mind a fixer upper, but it had to be 3 bed, 2 bath, right? And this was a little bit shy of that. and the house was not in the greatest of shape. There were some, I don't know, I think there were some foundation issues or something. The the drywall was like cracked in the corners in most of the house. It's like it settled or something, and didn't look like something we wanted to get into. So we passed on it. I really advocated for it, but I got vetoed. But the second bathroom was kind of the deal breaker. So without the second bath, we weren't gonna stand a chance, you know. So, but yeah. So but long story short, it's hard to find minnows around this town. You know, you can get them at Crappie Pro Shop, but you got to wait till 9 o'clock in the morning, and they haven't been open on Saturdays and Sundays forever. So, I guess they just nobody goes fishing on Saturday or Sunday. I don't know. I don't get the reasoning behind it, but it is what it is. You know, staffing, who knows? But and then the closest place to get them reliably is probably up in Whittington, which is like basically it's a 40-minute drive one way. You know, so which I've done. I've done it, but then there's some places at Lake of Egypt, but they're kind of inconsistent on it. It's just like, what if I'd opened that bait shop? What would have happened? You know, I'd probably worked myself to death and never got to go fishing. That's probably what would have happened. But you don't know if you don't do it, right? So, but so if y'all don't have any questions, I think you're all questioned out. I think I'm gonna wrap this up, but not before. Not before I ask you to go check out our friends. So we've got friends that kind of help us out with stuff. It's kind of mutually beneficial situation, if you will. So, and if you haven't already, you need to go look at brush pile jigs. You know, my boat doesn't go anywhere without brush pile jigs, and everything we caught at Crab Orchard today was on brush pile jigs. Don't tempt me with that, Rick. Actually, yeah, there's some kind of a partner thing that Lee's got cooking, so I'm checking into that. But yeah, I'm trying my best to sell brush pile jigs. I definitely do when I'm because I've been going helping them out with the fishing shows, right? So that's why I was in Ohio last year, and I went to Texas, and a lot of fun stuff. We got to see some places I've never been to, and see some things I've never done, and a lot of fun, a lot of fun. So look forward to doing all those shows this year. So I had a blast with it last year, and great people. So, but like I say, you'd be remiss to not go look at brush pile jigs if you fish with jigs. Stream's current bit rate is lower than recommended bit rate. We recommend. How about you recommend that? Shut up about it because it's still working. YouTube's telling me stuff that I don't want to hear. All right, so, but yeah, definitely check out brush pile jigs. I'd say most of the guys on here that that are familiar with them are good with that. So definitely make sure you check them out. Order a bag or 10 or 12 or a whole cart full. So always good stuff. And then and they're made by fishermen for fishermen. Also, my724outdoors.com. My buddy Ray's page. He has a lot of good content on there. He shares my content and I'm an admin on his page too. And again, mutually beneficial situation. He's related to the Mo fishermen as well, so it's kind of a big circle of guys. So helping each other out, and that's right, Rick. Rick's got it right. Can't go wrong with them. Brush pile jigs, but and then I don't even know why. As always, check out my Facebook page, Panfish Guy on Facebook, and panfishguy.com. That's it. That's all I got. And I haven't been maintaining the the web page as much as I should. I've been dropping a new video on there every now and then, but you fish with the hammers most of the time. You know the profile I like, Rick, is the chub. It's just like the thicker body. I don't, you know, I've always liked the thicker body bait. You know, well, I could say that for other things too, but but no, the I just like that thicker bodied bait on the chub style, and plus it's got the little eye on there. Uh, I really like that for when I'm casting. If I'm just casting a jig without a bobber or anything, uh, I think I think the actions looks more like a minnow swimming than some of the other profiles. But I also like the uh, uh, ones with the little tentacles on them, the divers, the 2 inch diver and the 2.5 inch diver. I like those styles too. That basically it's a solid body too. It's good stuff. But all right, guys, I think that's going to wrap it up. Appreciate you sticking on tonight, Rick. Thanks for coming, Stuart. I'll holler at you later this week. See what's going to happen about Saturday. Um, never know. I might have an open seat on Saturday if Stuart can't go. So y'all keep that in mind. Kentucky Lake, Paris Landing State Park, somewhere in that vicinity, somewhere in the big sandy unit. That's where I'm headed. But try to keep out of the main river system. So, but that's going to do it for me for this evening. Thanks for joining me, guys. I'm at an hour, so I'm going to call it an evening. Y'all have a good one.